Welcome, welcome, welcome. Coach Ken, welcome. Thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Dr. Dieter. Today we're going to be talking about losing weight, to lose weight. 2 effective ways to lose weight. That's what we're going to be talking about today. 2 effective ways to lose weight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining us today, the topic of today's conversation, two ways to lose weight. Lose weight, 2 effective ways. We're going to talk about a lifestyle approach to lose weight, and we're going to talk about a nutraceutical approach to lose weight. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining us, my name is Dr. Dieter, and the topic of our conversation is to lose weight. I want to first start by just welcoming you. If you're joining us from the Northeast, Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, welcome, welcome, welcome. Topic of today's conversation, weight loss. 2 effective ways to lose weight. Weight loss. It's an issue that it's an issue that plagues many of us living in the U.S. If you're joining from the Midwest, maybe you're joining from Illinois, maybe you're joining from the Dakotas, North Dakota, South Dakota, and you struggle with weight, welcome. Nebraska, Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, Wisconsin, Ohio, you are welcome to today's talk. We're going to be talking about 2 effective ways to lose weight. If you're joining from the South, maybe you're joining me from Texas, maybe you're in Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee, maybe you're in South Carolina, North Carolina, anywhere in the South, Florida, Georgia, Delaware. I want to welcome you to our show today. New Jersey in the house. Whoop, whoop. Welcome, 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 Inez from New Jersey. If you're joining us from the West Coast, maybe you're in Oregon, maybe you're in Washington State, maybe you're in California, maybe you're in New Mexico, maybe you're in Utah, maybe you're in Wyoming, Alaska, Arizona. I want to welcome all of you guys to our show today. Topic of today's talk, we're going to talk about 2 effective ways to lose weight. I'll introduce myself. My name is Dr. Dieter. I have board certifications in 2 fields. I'm a double board certified internal medicine physician, as well as a board certified pediatrician. So I hold those certifications in 2 fields. Wait. Let me start with this statistic, guy. The statistics say that 3 out of every 4 adults, and sorry, one thing, I want to welcome my international audience. You know, I know we have an international audience too. So if you're joining from any country abroad, maybe you're in Canada, maybe you're in in Mexico, maybe you're in Colombia. If you're joining abroad, maybe you're in the UK, or maybe you're even in Denmark, Estonia, Finland. I want to welcome you. Puerto Rico, welcome you. Australia, Hong Kong, China, Japan, Malaysia, all those places welcome you. I know I have a few of my followers in Africa. If you're joining from West Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, maybe you're joining from South Africa, from Kenya, you're Egypt. I want to welcome all of you guys. I understand we have an international audience. So welcome to my Canadian audience. Welcome to my Australian audience. Welcome to those in France, Germany, Romania, Spain, Sweden, and what have you. So the issue with weight, Canada in the house. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, Gigi, Canada in the house. So I want to start with this encouragement. If you struggle with weight, or you know a friend or a family member that is struggling with weight, share this live with them right now. Invite them to this live to listen, because I'm going to talk about 2 practical things that you can do to lose weight. And the 2 practical things we're going to talk about just a simple lifestyle approach. Just a simple lifestyle approach that if you were to take, you are going to lose weight. And then I love giving people options. Some people will not be able to do a lifestyle approach. We're going to talk about the simple nutraceutical approach that you can use to lose weight. Excuse me. So any of those 2 options, if you did them and you did them fervently every day, you're going to lose weight. So I want to start with this statistics. In the United States where I live and practice, the statistics say that in the United States, 3 out of every 4 adults is either overweight or obese. 3 in every 4 adults, that's about 3/4 of adults living in the United States have a weight issue. That is huge. That is very, that's so about 75% of adults living in the United States are either overweight or obese. So those are very, very big numbers. You know, and I want to start by saying that I used to be in that 3 to 4%. I want to start by showing you guys a picture of myself when I was obese, actually. So let me put this picture on here and show you guys, and then to give you context. So that's me. That's a picture of me in 2019. And in 2019, folks, I weighed 220 pounds. I had class 1 obesity. That's a picture of me. So I fell in that category of 3 out of every 4 adults in the United States with a weight problem. So when I'm teaching today about lifestyle, I'll be teaching from the point of experience. I'll be teaching from the point of the things that I've done to be able to be successful, to now look like this. You know, you guys saw the picture of me in 2019. They have things that I've done, and I incorporated a combination of lifestyle approaches and a nutraceutical approach to be able to look like this now. For some of you, you're going to be interested in doing the lifestyle approach, and I'll talk to you about that. Some of you may be interested in doing a nutraceutical approach. I'll talk to you about. And I know there are some people who are just as crazy as me who will be interested in doing both. And you have the free will to do that. So let me ask, how many of you guys struggle with weight? If you struggle with a weight issue, drop a comment in the chat, struggle. And then what I'd like you to do, I see you, Pink. Miss Pink? What I'd like you to do, you know, as the second question, if you struggle with weight, just like I did, the statistics say that 3 in every 4 adults have a weight issue. If that's you, if that's your struggle, drop a comment in the chat, struggle. And then I'm going to ask you this. What is your weight goal? You know, how much weight will you like to lose? Will you like to lose 10 pounds? Will you like to just drop a comment in the chat what your weight goal is? If you would like to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds. When I weighed 220 pounds, at the time my weight goal was 50 pounds. And thankfully I was able to lose that 50 pounds. So that may be you. Your weight goal, I see 10. Miss Pink says 10. Miss Pink, that is achievable. Inez says 25. Inez, that is achievable. I want to see some more numbers. What is your weight goal? What is your weight goal? Now, I say that because when I teach you these two things today, you're going to see how achievable. So 56, Yeti Divine says 56. Yeti, it is achievable. And I hope that with the teaching today, that helps you to get there. So I say that because the two things I'm going to talk to you about today are going to help you to be able to get to those goals. Okay? They will help you to be able to get to those goals. So let's start by understanding, first of all, why we deal with the issue of weight today. If I had a time machine, if you and I were given a time machine and we had to go back 100 years and look at how our ancestors lived, look at how our great-great-great-grandparents lived, we will not see anybody in the community that was overweight or obese. This term overweight or obesity did not exist back 100, 200 years ago in the time of our ancestors. And the reason that did not exist is because our ancestors did not consume an excess amount of calories. That's one. They did not consume an excess amount of calories. And why the reason they did not consume an excess amount of calories is because in those days, they ate whole foods. They ate whole animal foods, whole plant foods. You didn't have things that were refined or processed foods or ultra processed foods. So they were eating a certain amount of calories a day that was not too much, and they were eating foods that were whole and filling. And when you eat whole foods, foods that are whole animal, whole plants, they make you feel fuller and cause you to feel satisfied for a long period of time. They do not lump on you excess calories. The number one reason why we are overweight today is because of modernization. Modernization has brought into play processed foods, ultra processed foods. Modernization has taken out from our food a lot of fiber. Fiber is a very important ingredient, in our diet that helps us not to be able to gain weight. Did you know that fiber helps you to feel full and not to gain weight? Did you know that fiber actually causes you to burn fat, and not to keep fat around? Unfortunately, in this day and age where we are in modernization, our foods have been so processed, that the fiber content of our food is low. So two things here. The fiber contents of our food is low, and the carbohydrate contents of our food are so high. Did you know that, the number one cause of weight, the number one class of food that causes us to have weight issues is carbohydrates? And what do our standard American diet, what we call the SAD diet, contain? A lot of carbohydrates. We're eating a lot of tortillas. We're eating a lot of bagels, a lot of pizzas, a lot of donuts, and what have you. And those things are loaded with carbohydrates and have little to no fiber. If I brought a donut, I went back in time, right? Let me say this. If I went back in time with a time machine and I took a donut and I went back, generations ago to my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, and I had a donut in front of him, he'll be startled like, what's that? He won't know what that is. Same thing if I took a time machine and I took a tortilla, and I went back in the time machine and I placed the tortilla on the plate of my great-great-great-grandfather, he'll be startled and like, what is that? Those are the reasons why in our society today, we are overweight. We are consuming so much calories in carbohydrates and little fiber. So much. Now, there is an easy way to reverse our weight issues. As I said, our ancestors never had these weight issues. How many of you guys, have resigned to the fact somebody is saying you can never resolve this? I don't believe that. If you're saying you can never resolve this, I don't believe that. I think where there's a will, there's a way. So I beg to differ. And with that question, I'll ask this. How many of you guys have at one point resigned to the fact that you're always going to struggle with your weight and it's something that you're never gonna get an upper hand? If that's you, if you have given up, about losing weight, or you've given up about your weight struggle, drop a comment in the chat, given up. Okay, somebody said you could never, I'm trying to see the comment. You could never resolve the donut. It's called metaphor. Westerners and low context communicators. Okay, I don't understand what that is. So if you have given up, I see a comment, Glitter says me, I see given up. Okay, if you have given up, resign to the fact that, this weight that I have, that's always going to be me. It's unshakable. I'm not going to be able to lose it. That's you. Drop a comment in the chat, resigned or giving up or no hope. But I'm here to tell you that there is hope. I really am here to tell you that there is hope. I am proof to that. 2019, I started by showing you guys my picture, and I want to put that picture back up. I want to put that picture back up for you to see. All right, that's me in 2019, okay? 2019, I was 220 pounds at the time, 220 pounds. And if you see right there, I had a belly, right there, a belly. I was a big boy. But through lifestyle changes, which we're going to talk about, and a nutraceutical option, I now look like this. So if I was able to do it, you can do it too. And so if that's you who had resigned to the fact that you will never lose weight, I want to tell you that you could. Now, I want to talk about the thing that really stands in the way of us not losing weight. Does this increase diabetes? Yes, weight increases your risk of having diabetes. Absolutely, it increases your risk of having diabetes. The number one thing that really stands in our way to losing weight is a hormone called insulin. Insulin is a very, very important hormone in our body. When insulin levels are high, I want you to think about insulin like this. Insulin is a hormone that helps to store things. It is an anabolic hormone. It's a hormone. When we talk about anabolic in the word medicine, it means storage, likes to store things. So insulin is like a hoarder, put it that way. Okay, when insulin is around, it hoards. Have you guys watched, the show on TV where you have these hoarders and they have their house crazily packed with stuff? Think about insulin. When insulin is high, is a hoarder. It just puts things in and puts things in. It causes you to gain weight. It causes you to hold on to fat or hold on to things, not to let things go. Are there any hoarders in the house? If there are any hoarders in the house, drop a comment in the chat, hoarder. I want to relieve you of a specific type of hoarding, your insulin, which is hoarding your fat. So when you have high insulin, that high insulin hoards fat. It causes your body to hold on to fat and not to let it go. Okay? When you have low insulin, it makes, when your body's levels, when you have low insulin, it causes your body to no longer hold on to fat and to let fat go. So think about insulin as it's either gonna hoard things when it's in a high concentration, or it's gonna let things go when it's in a low concentration. So the way I say it is, I want to show you guys this picture. This is a simple picture here that I want to depict. This is what happens. This is what happens when you have too much insulin circulating around. When you have too much insulin circulating around, it goes and locks your fat up in the jail cell. So you can count calories, you can even, exercise or what have you. As long as your insulin levels are high, that insulin level is a jailer that has locked the fat up. And you can do as many things as possible, and that is not going to, you're not going to lose weight. How many of you guys have ever experienced, man, I'm doing this, I'm eating the right diet, I am watching what I eat, I am exercising, but the scale is not falling off, I'm not losing weight? How many of you guys have experienced that, where you're trying to lose weight, you're doing things to help you lose weight, but the scale is not budging, and sometimes even the scale goes up? If you have experienced that, drop a comment in the chat, experience that. The reason why that is happening is because of this phenomenon right there. You're doing everything that you can, but insulin has been there. Thank you for your comment. You're doing everything that you can, but your fat isn't budging. Your fat isn't budging. You're not losing weight because insulin has a grab on your fat. It has locked it up in the jail cell, and it's just sitting and laughing at you. You are, running to the gym. You are eating salads. You're doing that, and it's just sitting and laughing at you. That is a big reason why, if you have tried losing weight, and you're unable to, is because of that. Now, there is a way to get your fat out of jail. The way to get your fat out of jail, and which we'll discuss in the lifestyle approach, the way for insulin to open the jail for your fat to get out so that you can burn fat, is bringing down your insulin levels. Remember I said, when insulin levels are high, insulin is a jailer. It locks the fat up in the jail cell, or it acts as a hoarder. It's gonna hoard fat, hoard. But when insulin levels are low, when the body is sensing low insulin levels, that low insulin levels now goes to break things down. It causes, in medicine, we call it catabolism. There are two big type of metabolic processes that take place in our body all the time. You're either building up or you're breaking down. Building up is called anabolism. Breaking down is called catabolism. When your insulin level is high, you're building up, you're hoarding. That's what we call anabolism. When your insulin levels is low, you're breaking down. That's what we call catabolism. So when your insulin levels become low, this is what happens. When your insulin levels become low, insulin now lets fat out of jail. When insulin lets fat out of jail, when your insulin levels are low, then you can begin to lose weight. The things that the stagnation that you had on the scale, begins to go away. If you are just joining us, my name is Dr. Dieter, board certified internist, as well as a board certified pediatrician. We are talking today about losing weight, about 2 effective ways to lose weight. And I've just been talking about why we are overweight and what stands in the way of our weight loss. And I want us to understand that first, and then I'm going to go into discussing 2 effective ways that you can lose weight. And those 2 effective ways that you can lose weight will be, we're going to talk about a lifestyle approach, and we're going to talk about a nutraceutical approach. And whichever way jives with you, you can use that. So I have so far spoken about our weight issues today as a result of what I call chronic overnutrition, causing us to have and consuming a lot of calories and less fiber, causing us to have a high insulin levels, which is locking our fat up in the gel cell. You may be doing all the right things, trying to lose weight, but at the same time, because your insulin levels are high, you're not able to lose weight. And when your insulin levels are low, if you're able to get your insulin levels low, then the fat that insulin has been holding onto and hoarding, it now lets it go and you can lose weight. So I want to, for those of you who just came on, before we go on to, for those of you who just came on, before we go on to the 2 lifestyle changes, the 2 lifestyle things to do to lose weight, what I want to do again is to just put up my picture of what I used to be. This is a picture of me in 2019. I was a big boy. I weighed 220 pounds. Was I the picture of health or what? So that's me in 2019, a big boy, and I was a physician and a picture of health. I had to take a hard look at myself and said, Dr. Dieter, you're a physician. You should be counseling people about health, but yet you look like this. You need to do something to be able to have weight when you talk to people about your health issues. And so I decided that I was going to embark on a lifestyle change, which we're going to talk about, which helped me to be able to lose 50 pounds. Just simple lifestyle changes helped me to be able to lose 50 pounds. And then down the road, I was able to add some other things to it. And so I wanted you guys to see that, so that when I talk, I'm talking from a position of the same struggle. In this talk, I started with the statistics that in the United States, they say 3 out of every 4 adults are either overweight or obese. I was one of them. I was obese. I was in the 3 out of every 4. That's about 75% of adults living in the US today. Now, if I did it with these lifestyle changes that I'm about to teach you, you can do it too. So we're going to start with that. Before we do that, I'm going to ask a question, just a simple yes or no myth buster here. Losing weight is about calories, true or false? Losing weight is about calories, true or false? Let's see what you guys think. Is losing weight all about calories, true or false? Okay. Somebody said true. Somebody said yes. Somebody said true. Okay. Somebody said true. Okay. I'm going to ask the question in another way. Losing weight is all about calories with the underlined word all. Boost Energy said false. One different response. Losing weight is, let me categorize the question. Losing weight is all about calories. True or false? Okay, so no. All good answers. That's right. Losing weight is not all about calories. Losing weight is not all about calories. So false. That's true. So I'm going to switch now, and we'll talk about the lifestyle options that can help you guys. Now, I have an acronym for that. And the acronym for this lifestyle options, I'm going to put it like this: GIF. GIF. FF, okay, GIF, GIFF. That's the acronym for the lifestyle approach. And the G on there stands for great grandparents. The G on there stands for great grandparents. Now, what does that mean, great grandparents? Remember I said that if I had a time machine and I were to go back 100 years ago or 200 years ago, and I took a bagel, let me say I took a donut, in my hand, and I entered the time machine and I went back 100 or 200 years ago and I placed that bagel on the plate of my great grandfather, he's going to be afraid, like he'll be startled, like what is that? Or a donut, like what is that? He's not going to know what it is. So grandparents, the G in there in the grandparents is, the G in there in the great grandparents is, do not eat. If you want to lose weight, remove from your diet everything that your great grandpapa or your great grandmama will not recognize as food. If your great grandmama or great grandpapa was living in this day and age, if you're about to eat something and you know that they will not recognize this as food, don't eat it. What that is that food then is a simple way to say that food is not a whole food. So eat foods that are 100% animal, 100% plants. Foods that your great grandparents will recognize as foods. Those foods are gonna fill you in. They're gonna cause you, not to consume way more calories than you have to. And then they're gonna be low in carbohydrates. When you eat foods that are low in carbohydrates, do you know what it does? Foods that are low in carbohydrates, which were foods our great grandparents eat, they were low in carbs, high in proteins, high in fiber. It causes your insulin levels to be low. And remember, when your insulin levels are low, because it doesn't spike your blood sugar. There is a one-to-one relationship between your blood sugar and the amount of insulin, how high or low insulin is. So when you eat those kind of foods that your great grandpapa and grandmammy ate, what's going to happen is your blood sugars are not going to be high. And when your blood sugars are not high, insulin levels are going to be low. And when insulin levels are low, I want to go back to that picture I showed you guys. When insulin levels are low, your fat gets released from the gel cell. Your fat gets released from the gel cell and you burn fat when insulin levels are low. So this is what happens. This is what will happen when your insulin levels are low. Fat gets released from the gel cell and you burn fat. How many of you guys would like to set him free or set her free, set the fat free from jail? If that's you, drop a comment in the chat, fat free. Just eat foods that your great grandpapa or your great grandmama did not eat. And if you did that, fat will be free. Drop a comment, fat free, if that's what you want to have, for you. So that is lifestyle modification number 1. Okay, lifestyle modification number 1. Just go back to eating the way your great grandparents ate. That's lifestyle modification number 1. I'm sorry, okay. So that's the G. That's the G. The other thing, it's the two things right here. IF. This is what IF is actually joined together. Intermittent fasting. intermittent fasting. Going back to the G just a little bit. When you eat foods that are recognized by your great-grandparents, you consume a lower amount of calories. Did you know that in this day and age, they say that we consume 20% more calories than our ancestors did? 20% more calories. It's no doubt three out of 4 adults are overweight. If we are consuming 20% more calories, there has to be consequences. So just an encouragement again to going to eating whole foods. If you're about to pick an Oreo and put an Oreo into your mouth, or you're about to eat a Hershey's, or you're about to eat a tortilla, or what have you, and your great-grandmama will not recognize that, don't eat it. Don't eat it. So intermittent fasting is the next one. Let me write it down a little bit better. So, intermittent fasting. So, how many of you guys have heard of intermittent fasting? If you've heard of intermittent fasting, drop a comment in the chat. I want to explain it. I want to know how many of you guys are familiar with the term, or how many of you guys are not familiar, as I break this down. If you've heard of intermittent fasting, drop IF in the chat. Okay. Dan says, I do it. Great. I've heard of it. Precious says, I've heard of it. Great. For those of you who have not heard of it, intermittent fasting is not a diet. It's a pattern of eating where you eat in a particular window. You eat all your calories in a particular window, and then do not eat, after that window is over. So it's a pattern of eating in America, or in modern society today. Not just in America. This is happening even in Africa, where I'm from. We're now grazing all day like cows. We're eating around the clock. Chow. That is not good. Our bodies were meant to take a rest from calories. Remember the stuff about eating 20% more calories? That's not good. Eating 20% more calories is like walking over time 20%. So if you eat 20% more calories, your body is walking over time 20%, it gets no rest. Yes, it's true, Beatrice. That's what we're doing in a modern day, because there is so much of an abundance of food, an abundance of junk food. We are grazing. It really is. I don't know of a better word to call it. It's grazing all day. So, but intermittent fasting is this approach where you give your body rest. Your body doesn't always need to be processing calories. It will burn out. If your boss told you that, hey, Germaine, or hey, Beatrice, or hey, Precious, you're gonna have to work 20% overtime from January to February, aren't you gonna get burnt out? Heck yeah, you will. That's the same thing that happens in our bodies. When our bodies get burnt out, insulin levels go high, we hoard fat, we gain weight, we cannot lose weight. So we're not meant to always be grazing. Our bodies were meant to have a period of rest. If you agree with me that we need rest, drop a comment in the chat, rest. When God created us, He said, we needed rest. On the 7th day, God said, God rested on the 7 days, and God said man should rest, created the Sabbath, rest. Our bodies also need rest. You cannot keep going. You will burn out. Your bodies need rest, even from calories. Even from calories, I say. So intermittent fasting gives your body that rest. Intermittent fasting gives your body that rest. Yes, precious, rest is precious. And when your body is resting, it breaks down calories. When your body is resting, insulin levels go from high to low. When insulin levels are low, it opens the jail cell and fat runs out of jail, you lose weight. Rest is so important. We have a saying that I will say it in a different language, and I'll try to translate it. We have a saying in Cameroon, West Africa, where I'm from, that body no be firewood. What that means is that your body is not a log of wood. Okay? Your body needs rest. Your body is not a log of wood. It needs rest. So intermittent fasting gives your body a rest period from calories. Now, so I'm serious, precious. Body no be firewood. It gives your body a period of rest. So that is what intermittent fasting is. I want to go to the board and just explain just a little bit. So intermittent fasting is a pattern of eating where you eat in a particular window. You eat in a particular window, and then after that window is over, you fast in a particular window. That's what intermittent fasting is. So eating, fasting. Instead of grazing, right? Instead of grazing, you eat in a particular window, you fast in a particular window. You did that, stop. It's going to cause your insulin levels to be low. And the best way to do intermittent fasting is to remove breakfast from your diet and eat just lunch and dinner. It is recommended that the best type of intermittent fasting is to fast for 16 hours. Fast for 16 hours, have nothing to eat or drink that has calories, and then eat in an 8-hour window. That's what intermittent fasting is. So I'll demonstrate it like this. So let's say that you usually eat breakfast at 8 a.m. and you usually eat breakfast. So let's put breakfast. And you usually eat lunch You guys, let's say you usually eat breakfast at 8 a.m. and you usually eat lunch at 12 p.m. and you usually eat dinner at 8 p.m. I know these numbers are late, but I like using 8 because the math is very easy with 8, okay? So with intermittent fasting, what you're going to do, the way I tell people to do intermittent fasting actually is to start by fasting for 12 hours to ease into it. If you have never done it, it's hard just going and starting 16 hours of fasting every day. So what I tell people to do is you ease into it gradual. And by easing into it, you first start by fasting for 12 hours and eating in a 12-hour window. That's where you start. Okay? That's where you start. Remember, we're discussing the lifestyle approach to losing weight. We've spoken about your great-grandparents. We're now talking about intermittent fasting. You start at 12, you fast for 12 hours, eating a 12-hour window. And the way you will do that, you're easing into it. You eat breakfast, you eat lunch, you eat dinner. After you've eaten a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, after dinner, you're not going to have anything else to eat or drink that has calories. That will be 12 hours of fasting. 12 hours of fasting. After you had gone through this period right here, that was 12 hours of eating. So you eat breakfast, you eat lunch, you eat dinner, and then after dinner, nothing else to eat or drink for at least 12 hours, after 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. the next day. You do that, your body would have gone through 12 hours of no fasting. 12 hours of fasting. Now, do that for 1 or 2 weeks to acclimatize, for your body to kind of get used to it. If you guys follow me so far, please drop a comment, I follow. When you have done that, then from the 2nd or 3rd week, what I want you to do is now increase the length of your fasting from 12 hours to 16 hours. So you now ease into it. You go from 12 hours, and what you do is you just extend your fast by 4 hours. And the easiest way to extend your fast by 4 hours is in this period, because there's 4 hours here. So you go and you now make breakfast extinct. You no longer eat breakfast. So from the 2nd or 3rd week after you have done this 12-hour window, you go and you say, okay, bye-bye breakfast. I'm no longer gonna eat breakfast, and now you only eat lunch and dinner. This is now gonna be your new eating window. That new eating window is going to be 8 hours. So you eat lunch, you eat dinner. After dinner, nothing else to eat or drink that has calories until lunch the next day. This new fasting window is now going to be 16 hours of fasting. Do you guys follow so far? I'm going to flip over and see if you follow. So when you do that, when you are fasting, what happens is that your insulin levels, okay, I'll answer that question. But we are meant to know that breakfast is very important. That is a myth, and that is not true. Okay, precious, unfortunately, we have been told this stuff, that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's actually not true. It's not. Breakfast may actually be the most consequential negative meal of the day, because when you're waking up from a sleep, you've been fasting at night, your body is in this primed metabolic state. When you take in breakfast, it takes the primed metabolic state and it bursts a bubble in that prime metabolic state and causes you to go down. Breakfast is actually not the most important meal of the day. It's a myth that was made, which is not true, and it just sounds good. Oh, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Breakfast, it was a slogan made, to sell breakfast food. That was simply what it is. And thank you, Beatrice, for saying that. So it's not. So going back to the intermittent fasting, when you do that, when you're fasting, your body's insulin levels become low. When your body's insulin levels become low, remember, I said insulin is a hormone that when it's high, it likes to hoard things. It's like a hoarder. It could end its place on the A&E show, hoarding, where you have to have a family intervention to save a hoarder. So when insulin is high, it hoards. It's going to hoard calories. It's going to store calories. When insulin is low, it's going to cause you to break down calories. You have catabolism. Why? When you are fasting, right? Why intermittent fasting is important? When we are fasting, we have a low amount of glucose. Our body's main source of energy is glucose. Our body uses two sources of energy. Glucose is one source of energy, as well as fat. So when we are fasting, our glucose levels drop low. When our glucose level drop low, the body can no longer rely on glucose for energy. The body is now forced to go and start burning fat, and so the body goes and starts to burn down fat, and that's how you lose weight. One thing that I will also say, right, Precious, if you were to go back and see how our ancestors live, I bet you my life that our ancestors never had 3 meals a day. I bet you that. I can say that with confidence. that they never had 3 meals a day. That our ancestors likely only had 1 or 2 meals a day. Where did I keep that? I can bet you that our ancestors had only 1 or 2 meals a day. So our ancestors were actually living in an intermittent fasting state too. I see somebody say true. So that is why intermittent fasting is important in helping you to lose weight, because when you fast, your insulin levels go low. When your insulin levels go low, fat gets released from the jail cell, you lose weight. Now, the picture that I showed you guys here, I want to go back to my picture. That I showed you guys when I was a big boy, when I was a picture of health. The picture that I showed you guys here when I was a big boy and a picture of health, if you agree with me that I was a big boy, drop a comment, big boy. I think I was a big boy, 220 pounds. So what I did that helped me, and I'm going to show you guys, what I did that helped me was I did intermittent fasting. Thankfully, I learned about intermittent fasting when I was having this weight struggle. You know, and after understanding the concept, yeah, I was a big boy. Thank you for agreeing. After understanding that concept, I did that, and this is what I changed to looking like. I lost 50 pounds by doing intermittent fasting. Lost 50 pounds. So that's why intermittent fasting helps you to lose weight, because of that dynamic of, you know, causing your insulin levels to go low. Now, the last thing that we're going to talk about is, I'll just leave that on here. The last thing that we're going to talk about is the F. Can anybody take a guess of what the F here is? Let me see. I'm going to see what guesses you guys have. I want somebody to take a guess of, you know, the last fiber. Beatrice, you got it. You nailed it. Fiber. Yep. F is the fiber. F is the fiber. God is good. You got it. F is the fiber. M the graph, you got it. F is the fiber. Fiber. And when we talk about fiber, we're not meaning a Wi-Fi fiber, you know, internet. That's not the kind of fiber we're talking about. You know, in fact, our ancestors did not know about, you know, fiber internet. We're talking about food fiber. So fiber is the last thing in the F. Fiber is the last thing. Yeah, we're not talking about optic fiber here. No. Yes, fiber is the last thing in the F. Very, very important. It is so important for several reasons. Number one, when you eat foods that are rich in fiber, what it does is that it goes to your body and makes you feel full. In Pidgin, we say belefun. It's a way in my native language to say you feel full, you feel satisfied. You know, in medical lingo, what fiber does is that fiber goes and stimulates the body to produce its own GLP-1s. Did you guys know that GLP-1s, in the drugs, in all the GLP-1 drugs, those are drugs that are made from a hormone in our body? So a pharmaceutical industry, what it has done is it has taken the natural hormone in our body, gone to the lab, and made a pharmaceutical replica of that, and is giving that to us as a medication. We have the potential in our bodies to produce our own natural GLP-1s. And what fiber does is that fiber produces natural GLP-1s. When you consume fiber, it causes your body to produce GLP-1s. GLP-1s make you feel full. When you feel full, you're not going to consume more calories than you're supposed to. And so that gives you a calorie check. That calorie check, when you don't consume too much calories than you're supposed to, it doesn't jack up your insulin, you don't gain weight, and it causes you to lose weight. The other thing is that fiber helps to burn fat. When you consume fiber, it helps you to burn fat, or not to store, not to hoard. Fiber is opposite to insulin. Insulin likes to hoard. Fiber doesn't like to hoard. So when you consume fiber, it helps you not to hoard. So those are the three things. Those are the four things, in the lifestyle. Great-grandparents, great-great-great-grandparents, avoid things that your great-great-grandparents will not recognize as food. That's the G. Then intermittent fasting, and then F. So just three things. If you were to do those three things religiously every day, the weight that you have been struggling with, the struggle will be over. How many of you want your struggle to be over? Drop a comment in the chat, struggle over. If you want your struggle to be over, that nutraceutical approach, that lifestyle approach can help your struggle over. Drop a comment, struggle over, if you follow, and that is something you want to see happen as far as your weight goals are concerned. Now, I see somebody had a comment in the chat. God is good. Yes, struggle over. Should I take fiber with each meal, Joe? Absolutely. Absolutely. Our ancestors consumed fiber pretty much with each meal. And they did not do it intentionally. It's just that those were the foods that were available to them at that time. They ate plants and animals all the time. They were not eating tortillas. They were not eating bagels. And their foods were rich with fiber. So yes, you will take it with each meal. So remember, if you did intermittent fasting, then you will take out breakfast from your meal and you will just do lunch and dinner. But yes, fiber with each meal. So I want to now go to the second approach. Remember, I said I'm going to teach us two different approaches here. It's good to have choices. I said I was going to teach us two different approaches. A lifestyle approach to help you to be able to lose weight. All of these approaches are effective. So we've talked about the lifestyle approach. So let's put a big check mark. Check. And you saw that picture of me being a big boy? That picture of me being a big boy, the biggest thing that helped me in that picture, I'll be honest with you, I did mostly this. At the time, I did not know the importance of fiber and this. I did not know that because I just heard about that. So I did mostly this. What I want to say is you should commit to starting today. Commit to starting today. Drop a comment in the chat, commit if you're going to start today. Start or start tomorrow. If let's say you have already, the day is already gone for you today, that's fine. Commit to starting tomorrow. Drop a comment in the chat, commit. At least adopt one of these things beginning tomorrow. At least one of them. Start from somewhere. Maybe beginning tomorrow you're going to adopt this. Maybe beginning tomorrow you're going to adopt this. Maybe beginning tomorrow you're going to adopt fiber. Let me put that on the fiber. But do something. If you want change, you have to do something. So commit to doing at least one of these things to begin. You can start today. You can start tomorrow. If you're going to commit to doing fiber today, drop a comment in the chat, fiber, or today or tomorrow. If you're going to commit to doing intermittent fasting, drop a comment, IF. If you're going to commit to staying away from things that your great-great-great-grandmama will not recognize, drop a comment, grandparents, GP. Commit to something. Start from somewhere. For me, at the time, in 2019, when I was a big boy, all I knew was this, and I committed to that. If you commit to one of these, if you commit to 3 of this, you will certainly lose weight. If you start from somewhere, you can add the other things going down. So commit to something, commit to something, commit to something. Yeah, I see Boost Energy is committing to everything. Good for you, Boost Energy. Great. Yeah, way to go, way to go, way to go. Started on Monday on my fast now, and I'm 19 hours in, and I'm in already and still going. I'm so proud of you, Kuji. Great, great, great. Power to you. Go for it. I'm starting with fiber. Beatrice says, great, go for it. Committing to starting today, Natural Woman. Great, go for it. Now, let's talk about the second option, the nutraceutical approach. So, we've spoken about the lifestyle approach. Some of you may say, hey, doc, you know, my life is too busy. I work, I have kids, and, you know, my schedule is all over the place. I will not be able to commit to fiber. I cannot go and sit down and research foods that are rich in fiber and meal plan and make sure that I am doing that. I will not be able to. And doc, I cannot commit to intermittent fasting. Or maybe I can do this, but half-heartedly, or I don't know whether I can give up my pizza, or I don't know whether I can give up my Rose's Mexican food, or I don't know whether, what have you, whatever your reasons may be, they are valid for you if they prevent you from helping you lose weight. They're what we call barriers. So when I teach this, I like to give people options of 2 different things to do. So if the lifestyle is you can do the lifestyle, go for it. It will help you to be able to lose weight. And if that's not you because of one reason or the other, whether it's finances, whether it's your work schedule, your family life, or what have you, then that you cannot do that, then there is a nutraceutical approach. And the nutraceutical approach is this. I'll flip over. There is a nutraceutical product that can help you to be able to lose weight just by taking it every day. So if you're the kind of person who you'll not be able to do the lifestyle just by doing this. So I want to show you guys another picture of me. And first, I want to show you these 2 products, the nutraceutical approach that can help you to be able to lose weight just like the lifestyle approach will do for you. And I want to now show you a picture. I've tried that. So when I lost 50 pounds, I went down to a weight of 178. And normally my ideal body weight should be 164, okay? And so this is where I went down to 164. And that's how I looked. Great. You know, before that, I looked like this. I was the big boy. You know, but I was able to get some intermittent fasting done, and I went down, lost 50 pounds. But I remained at this, and I could no longer lose any further weight. And I needed to lose another 14 pounds to get to my ideal body weight. And then somebody told me about this nutraceutical products that I'm talking to you about now. Hey, Dr. Dieter, these products can push you over the edge and help you. And I started taking them, and in a space of 2 months, this is what my transformation was. In 2 months, using these products, I went from looking like this to looking like this. I lost 14 pounds, and for the first time in my life, I am on my ideal body weight. and I have kept my ideal body weight. And I just simply did this. Just simply did this. So if that's you, and if that's you and you will not be able to do the lifestyle approach because of one reason or the other, or you just want a simple option, just doing this, the nutraceutical approach. This is a tea made from a plant called the yerba mate plant that is native to the South Americas, Brazil, Colombia, Argentina. It comes in a sachet like this as a powder. If you ever see me drinking this on our live show, that is how the tea looks like, okay? That's how the tea looks like when I mix it in here. I just drink it. When I drink it, it goes and causes my insulin levels to be low, goes and helps me burn fat, goes and helps me release whatever fat I need to. I've been able to lose weight just by drinking this. I drink 2 of this a day, just 2 of this a day. Just sip on it throughout the morning and sip on it throughout the afternoon. That has been helping me. The other one is fiber. It's just fiber in a sachet. Just fiber in a sachet. Remember fiber? Our ancestors ate a lot of fiber. Their foods were whole foods and rich in fiber, but unfortunately, we don't live in the day and age our ancestors did. Our foods are so processed. We consume way less fiber than we're supposed to. In fact, it's recommended that if you're a man, where is that? Wait, give me 1 second. It's recommended that if you're a man in the if you're a man, you need to consume 38 grams of fiber a day. 38 grams of fiber a day. Okay? If you're a woman, it's recommended that you need to consume 25 grams of fiber a day. But in the United States, it's estimated that the average man and woman is taking in only 10 to 12 grams of fiber a day. 10 to 12 grams of fiber a day. That's less than 50% of the required daily amount. Less than 50% of the required daily amount. So, oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I did not have this on there. So, this is what in the United States is recommended that a man and woman should consume 38 grams of fiber a day. Woman, 25 grams of fiber a day. Then in the US, we're consuming 10 to 12 grams of fiber. This product that I was showing you, which is just fiber in a sachet. Fiber in a sachet. So I first showed you guys this, which is just a tea that helps me. This tea helps me to be able to intermittently fast. Let me mention that. There's some of you who may not be able to intermittently fast by yourself. When I drink this tea, it causes me not to feel hungry. It goes and suppresses my hunger center. I can go through breakfast. I miss breakfast without feeling hungry. When I'm missing breakfast and not feeling hungry, my insulin levels are low. When my insulin levels are low, I am burning fat. So that's what this is important for. It helps you to be able to fast without willpower, without strength. There are some people who cannot fast, without having, oh, I'm dying, I feel like I'm, so hungry. This takes away all of that and causes you to fast very seamlessly. And while you're fasting, it causes you to burn fat. This other one is fiber in a sachet. Fiber in a sachet that helps to simulate what our ancestors were doing. Remember, fiber is so important in our weight loss, so important. So this helps to simulate what your ancestors were doing. So what I do is I take two of these a day, and I take 1 of this a day. I usually take this at my heaviest meal. So I eat only 2 meals a day. So if my heaviest meal is lunch, I'll take it at lunch. If my heaviest meal is dinner, I'll take it at dinner. So just taking 1 sachet of fiber a day, and then taking 2 sachets of this tea a day Those two things were what caused me to be able to go from looking, let me show you guys this picture again, to be able to go from looking like this to looking like this in a space of 2 months. So I'm going to take some, so I'm going to answer that question. The name of the tea is just a chlorogenic tea. Where can you get it? I will show you a link in my profile for where you can get it. And if you have any issues using the link in my profile, Kay, then I can send you a direct message, or you could just send me a direct message and I can share the link. Precious, how much does it cost? It costs $5. It costs $5 a day. So to get this, you can get it in a packet. The packet is the company. Let me move, show you my screen. The company that produces the product sells it for $5 a day. It comes in the box. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab a box and show you. 1 second. I'll be right there. I'll grab a box and show you. Okay, it comes in a box like this. So it comes in this box like this. The products come in this box like this. This box, the contents of this box, contain one box of the fiber. This is 1 box of the fiber product, okay? And then it has 2 boxes. It has 2 boxes of the tea product in there. So they total of 3 boxes in here. Total of 3 boxes in here. All these 3 boxes in this packet, and it comes with this bottle. It comes with a graduated bottle like this. See the bottle I was using to drink from? It comes with a graduated bottle like this. So this whole packet, sells for $159. This whole packet. And this $159 is the equivalent of $5 a day. And the contents of this packet will last you a total of 30 days. Okay? So that's how much it costs. And if you want to get it, I can give you I can show you my link. So I want to end by showing you guys some pictures, some testimonies of people. So you guys have seen me. I want to show you some testimonies of some people who have used the product too and have been able to lose weight. So before I do, I'll say this again. I get it. I like to give people options. If you have listened to my talk, you may be like, hey doc, lifestyle is what I want to do. Please go for it. Go for it. And if that's you, drop a comment lifestyle in the chat. If you want to go lifestyle, our ancestors did it. You can too. Comment lifestyle. For some people, lifestyle may not be an option because of how busy their lives are and want to do something simple just for simplicity or to accommodate their lifestyle. And so that's why I talk about those two, so that you have the option to either go lifestyle or to either go nutraceutical. Comment nutraceutical if that's you will like the nutraceutical, and I can give you I will show you the link on how to get it. Now there's some of you who are as crazy as me. I'm currently doing lifestyle as well as nutraceutical. There's some of you who are as crazy as me and would like to do the combo. So if that's you, comment in the chat combo. Nothing wrong in doing combo. Extra goodness is not wrong. You cannot overdose on extra goodness like this, a lifestyle and nutraceutical. So if combo is your style, comment combo. Now I'll go ahead and show you guys some pictures. Somebody asked, how do you use it? I'm going to explain how you use Precious. I'm going to explain how you use it shortly. Let me just show these testimonies. Now, these are testimonies of all people like me, you know, who were able to Beatrice Combo. Great. Good for you. Extra goodness. I love it. I love it. These were people who, like me, you know, just used this and were able to transform their lives. And so I'm just going to show pictures. This is a before and after picture of somebody. Transformation. You missed my question. Let's see. God is good. Let me try to see what your question was. I already have it, but I do not know. I already have it, but do I need to drink 2 of the tea? Yes, you do. 2 of the to get the maximum benefit of this every day. God is good. You need to take 2 servings of the tea every day. So this is what I do. This is what I do, Precious. I wake up in the morning and I make a bottle. I make the first bottle. I wake up in the morning and I make the first bottle and I just start sipping it. I don't eat breakfast. I just start sipping it. This helps me to go through my day, my morning without feeling hungry at all. So I'm sipping it, and by noon, when it's time for lunch, this bottle is finished. When this bottle is finished, it's time for me to break my fast by eating lunch. So I eat lunch, and then after I've eaten lunch, what I do after I've eaten lunch, I now make a second bottle of this and just continue to sip it the same way I was doing in the morning, every 10 to 15 minutes for another 4 hours until it's over. So that's how you will take it, 2 bottles of that. So somebody asked, how do you use it? You wake up in the morning, you make the first bottle of this, and you start drinking it every 10 to 15 minutes. You don't eat breakfast, and you're fasting through that breakfast window and just sipping on this every 10 to 15 minutes for that 4-hour period. It's recommended that when you're using this, you fast for 16 hours. You don't eat breakfast, and this helps you to fast. So you do that, and then at lunchtime, you break your fast. You have lunch. After you have had lunch now, after you have finished having lunch, you make a second sachet, a second bottle of this, and drink it within the same time frame every 10 to 15 minutes until that second bottle is over. Then for the fiber, it's recommended that you take it just once a day at your heaviest meal. So when you're doing this nutraceutical approach, you're going to be eating only 2 meals a day, either lunch or dinner. So if lunch is your heaviest meal, it's recommended that you take it 5 to 10 minutes before lunch. If dinner is your heaviest meal, it's recommended that you take it 5 to 10 minutes before dinner. And you want to mix this, so the fiber, you want to mix this in what we call room temperature water. You don't want to use cold water or hot water. You just empty. If you notice, this bottle comes with a graduation. Okay, so for the tea is the higher graduation right up here. You fill the bottle to the tea level. To feel this is the tea to the tea level, and then you mix the powder in and shake it. For the fiber, it comes at the lower graduation. You just fill the water to this to the water to the level right here, the lower graduation. You empty the powder in it. When you empty the powder in it, you just shake it. When you mix the tea, you do the same thing. You empty and you just shake. After you shake that, you drink it all at once. You want to go ahead and drink it all at once. You don't sip on this one, on the fiber. You don't sip on it. You want to drink it all at once so that it goes in your colon and starts preparing the way to receive your food and starts preparing the way to make you feel full so you don't overeat. So that's how you take them. Let's see. That. Is it good as well to go without the tea if possible? Yes, you could, but to get the maximum benefit, taking the tea, will give you the maximum benefit, to get the maximum benefit. So I want to end now by showing you guys some of those pictures. So these are before and after pictures of people who were able to use just a simple nutraceutical approach and have their life change. Before and after picture. This is Cody. Cody lost 70 pounds in 6 months using this. It's that's his transformation. This is she lost 75 pounds. This is another person who was down 70 pounds. Another person, all before and after pictures of their transformation. Before and after. Even kids who are overweight can benefit from this too. This lady lost 203 pounds on this. Can you imagine? 203 pounds just using that. Some others. She lost 40 pounds using that. Another before and after. Another before and after, down from 208 pounds to 133 pounds. This couple, look at how they age younger from here to here just by using that. This lady lost 12 inches off her waist. 12 inches. I want to ask you guys again, drop a comment in the chat. What is your weight goal? Is your weight goal 10 pounds? Is your weight goal 15 pounds? Is your weight goal 57 pounds? This is possible. If you were to use the nutraceutical option, that will work. If you were to use the lifestyle option, that will work. What's your weight goal? Remind me again. I want to encourage you that is possible. 10 pounds? Yes. 20 pounds? Yes. 30 pounds? Yes. Drop a comment in the chat. What's your weight goal? This is my friend Natasha. 100 pounds. Beatrice, you go, girl. It's possible. It could be done. If this lady lost 200 and if this lady, where's that lady who lost 203 pounds, then 100 pounds is definitely doable. This is my friend Natasha. 30 pounds. God is good. 30 pounds is possible. Natasha is the one who actually introduced me to these products, to these nutraceutical products. So I never knew about these nutraceutical products until she rang me up. Natasha is a colleague. I went to medical school with her. She's a pediatrician. And this is her own weight story from here to here using those products. So that's what's possible. Jonathan, 50 pounds. He's an ex-NFL player. Another before and after. Before and after, before and after, before and after. This lady lost 30 pounds and 19 inches in 5 months. Let's see. Let's put that there so you see. That's a before and after. And when you lose weight, it causes all your other things to get better. Your blood pressure got better. Her migraines, her cravings. She's sleeping better. And she just by using that. This lady, this is her before and after. She's down 70 pounds. And by losing that amount of weight, she was able to reverse her diabetes and reverse her blood pressure and reverse her cholesterol. How many of you guys suffer from something else like diabetes or blood pressure or high cholesterol? If you do, drop a comment in the chat. Diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol. Those things will also go away if you were to. Those things will also go away if you implemented either the lifestyle approach or the nutraceutical approach. So there is hope for you. There is hope for you. There is hope for you. This guy was down after 7 months. He lost 48 pounds. 7 months, 48 pounds. Look at his before and after. God is good. Your cholesterol will get better. I will say this. I had high cholesterol. My cholesterol dropped down from 267 to 197, just by doing the nutraceutical approach. This is another before and after. Lost 155 pounds. Their reversed their type 2 diabetes, and their cholesterol also got better. Before and after, 74 pounds, poof, gone. Arthritis better, migraines better, swollen ankles better. Never felt that good in years. So I want to end by showing you guys, I always do this. I want to end by showing you guys, how to order the nutraceutical. So if you're interested in the nutraceutical approach, this is what you need to do. You go to my TikTok account. When you go to my TikTok account, you're going to see some links right here. All you need to do is to hit that link right there. When you hit that link, 2 links are gonna come up. The first link and the second link, which is just a link to my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, I do a lot of teaching about lifestyle and health. So if you want to learn more, you could pop on my YouTube channel. So, but this first link is the link to getting the product, the very first link. You just click on that. When you click on that, it's going to take you to the page of the company that sells the product, and you're going to see these that says buy now. When you hit buy now, what it's going to do is going to take you to this page. The right product has already been selected for you on this page. And all you need to do is to hit add to cart. When you hit add to cart, it's going to take you to this page that you will see checkout. And all you need to do is to hit checkout. Great. Somebody says, I love this protocol. Great. It's working wonders. When you hit checkout, that's all, and it lets you to be able to check out, and that's it. So I want to end again by saying that I want to give you guys encouragement here. If you have ever thought that you're always going to struggle with weight, and you have resigned to the fact that this weight thing is impossible, this is just going to be me, I want to encourage you. You saw my picture. I went from 220 pounds, losing 50 pounds using lifestyle modifications. So you can do that. Commit. I told you guys, commit to something. You could commit to a lifestyle approach or commit to a nutraceutical approach. One of these things is going to help you. Do not give up. Do not be discouraged that I'm always going to be heavy all my life. You could commit to something and make a change. So if the lifestyle approach resonates with you, remember the acronym GIF, Great Grandparents, Intermittent Fasting, Fiber. If the nutraceutical approach gels with you more, then use that link in my bio to order the nutraceutical. If you're having any trouble with the link or whatever, you send me a direct message on TikTok. I will help you sort it out. And if you're crazy as me and you want to do the combo, the lifestyle and the nutraceutical approach, have at it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh wow, let me read your comment. Beatrice, you said your starting weight was 243 in August, and you're now down 19 pounds, and your goal is to lose 100 pounds. Power to you, Beatrice. I wish you the best. I know it's possible because it's been possible for me. Thank you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys on my next live. Bye.